Hey everybody, this is TJR,
And this is Superfan.
and it's time for the next entry in our journey through the films of Hayao Miyazaki. This time, it's the 2001 film Spirit Away. We're doing these in chronological order. Previously, we watched Princess Mononoke. This film is from 2001. And just real quick, we both saw this film I think back when it was first released.
Maybe.
I remember us seeing it. We went to a theater and we saw it, a movie theater.
Okay.
And in that time, now it's been over 20 years. It's been close to 25 years
Yeah.
since we saw this. And in that time, I could remember imagery from the film. Well, let's just talk about the story real quick here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the story. I, of course, remembered that it was about a young girl. She's with her parents. They're moving. And she's not happy about it. Well, as most children are.
As is the case most of the time.
Yeah, kids are not happy when they have to move. And they get sidetracked. I remember they got sidetracked. Of course, we find out in the film that the father decides to take a little side road, thinking it might be a shortcut because he must have missed a turn somewhere. They wind up at like a tunnel entrance that they can't drive through because there's a little statue blocking the way. And the parents decide they want to take a look. The father thinks that it's a theme park that's been abandoned.
Yeah.
Until they find a restaurant with freshly prepared food but nobody there. They decide they'll eat and then pay when they get back. They figure there's got to be somebody who's going to come back soon because the food's fresh. And they start to eat and then eat and eat and eat. The little girl feels like there's something wrong. She knows something's not right. And then next thing she knows, it gets dark. There are weird spirits walking around. Her parents have turned into pigs, literally. And a young boy named Haku.
It's kind of a reverse Pinocchio.
How so?
Well, just that the parents behave badly.
I guess that's true. Well, I don't think I think the parents are sort of unknowing. They're hungry, but the more they eat, the worse they get. Is kind of what happens. They start out saying, we'll have something to eat. I'm sure that whoever made this will return soon. We can just pay them when they get back. They start out, in my opinion, but then, of course, they get...
extremely quickly they get greedy.
They keep eating and eating, and then they turn into pigs, literally. Yeah,
and they're telling her,
to have some. They keep encouraging.
Well, no, don't worry about it. Daddy's here. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. And they keep telling her to try the food. They keep tempting her with it. It's delicious, but she just knows something's not right.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to eat it. And in fact, throughout the whole time, she doesn't want them to go into this area. She senses that something is wrong. And I kind of get the Pinocchio analogy. I do see that now that I've thought about it for a little bit. And I'll pause and just say that my analogy throughout this film was, to a certain extent, Alice in Wonderland.
There is that too.
Because you've got a young girl who suddenly finds herself thrust into a world where all this where she encounters all these dreamlike experiences, and the imagery in this film is very dreamlike.
Yeah.
Even nightmare-like.
Yeah, and she's 10, so from a 10-year-old's point of view.
Yeah.
Even a jaded 10-year-old of today, it's still pretty intense.
But getting back to the Alice in Wonderland, she's in this world where there is all this dreamlike imagery. Also, she's in this world where characters' personalities switch on a dime. And this brings me back to the young boy she meets early on named Haku, who kind of tries to guide her through this new world, which is very terrifying to her. She's really scared. And he tells her there are things to be scared of, but if she just does things a certain way, she'll be okay. And he tries to guide her. He tells her that if she ever wants to help her parents again, she's going to have to go see this I can't pronounce the name, Unibaba? I don't know.
Yubaba.
Yubaba, thank you. And get a job there. If she gets a job, then...
She had to go to the Boilermaker
and get a job.
To get a job. But then he sent her to Yubaba.
And then she gives her a job. But he tells her that if she gets a job, then Yubaba can't hurt her. And the thing, and like it starts with him where he's very helpful, and then later he's very cold with her.
But that was because who he was with, too.
Yeah, then later he's very kind with her. And this happens again with early on when she gets the job and she's assigned to work with this other worker who is the only other character that looks completely human like her. And all these characters...
no, there are other characters.
No, there are other characters, but they look more cartoon-like.
Okay.
Yeah, there are characters with human features, but they look much more cartoon-like or bizarrely human. And then there are characters that look like animals. There are characters that look like all manner of things. But this one character named Jen is the only one that really looks like human like her.
Okay.
Though I guess is not human. And she, at the very beginning, can be really cold to her, but then later on be very caring and kind. And you were kind of saying that earlier, before we got on camera, that it depends on who those other characters are surrounded by.
It depends on who's there. They can't appear weak.
I guess not.
Or show her support, because then they'll take them. Like if Yubaba knew that Haku had feelings or cared for her,
she might do something bad.
She would prevent them from being together, and the same with Jen.
I guess that's probably a reason. But yeah, but what happens is people appear to, like, their personalities seem to change on a dime with her. And it's got to be very confusing for her. And to a certain extent, and so let me back up. She gets the job, and then it's about her trying to adapt to this world.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
To life in the bathhouse.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. We should mention that this place that her parents took her to, where they turn into pigs, where she meets this young boy who tells her she has to get a job there, is a bathhouse for spirits. And,
spoiler alert.
Huh? Yeah, well, we're going to discuss spoilers. This film is this film is, like I said,
20-some years old,
close to 25 years old, yeah. I'm sure anybody watching this video has seen it. But yeah, and even then I don't think we're going to give away everything, but it is a bathhouse for the spirit world. And as the owner, who is a witch, Yubaba, thank you. As she says when she gives the young girl Chihiro, thank you. And we just watched this, so like I said, getting familiarized with the names here, and I've never been good with names. But as when she gives her the job, she says, we are a bathhouse for the spirits, for the spirit world. Spirits come here to refresh themselves, basically, and they pay, and it's a business. But to me, it's kind of like a child being thrust into the adult world, which has different sets of rules, different sets of protocols, different sets of how people behave depending on the situation. And that's why it's so terrifying for her, because she leaves the relative safety and comfort and stability of the world of being raised by her parents, and suddenly is thrust in this adult world that she doesn't understand. I kind of related it to that.
Yeah, but it's not your traditional coming of age story.
No.
Because she's a few years away from that.
Oh yeah, she's only 10.
She's only 10. So this is a pre-coming of age story.
I guess that's the thing, is I could remember aspects of the film before we watched it again. I remembered her parents turning into pigs. I remember she had to work in this bathhouse. I remember there was this kind of spirit character that was called a no-face that follows her around.
Yeah.
I remember it turning into a monster, which it does while it's in the bathhouse. I remember it stops being a monster when it gets out of the bathhouse. There were certain aspects of it, but I couldn't remember what happened between her and Haku, which I don't think I will discuss. So for the few people who maybe haven't seen it, they at least can, because that to me is a huge part of how what kind of ties the film up. But as I was watching it, I kept thinking to myself, I couldn't remember, what is this film about? And I think that there could be so many conversations with different people as to what they think this film is about. My interpretation as I watched it is that it is about having to adjust to the adult world, which is sometimes can be awkward, it can be painful, it can be frightening. And I think that's something that a lot of us don't want to admit to. That's how I see it. I don't know if you see it differently.
I do, because when I was a kid, we moved a lot. And at one point, we moved to New Orleans from Southern California, and, you know, a completely different world. And you have to find your way and figure out, you know,
A new set of rules.
a new set of rules. Why are these kids using the N word with these other kids who are no different than they are? From
Yeah.
where my point of view,
Yeah. Yeah. Very culturally different.
very culturally different.
Yeah. But that's how I looked at it. And I don't know, I get the feeling that, you know, if I talk to different people, they'd have different feelings and ideas about it. You were saying right after it was over that you thought it was this was Hayao Miyazaki's darkest film.
I think that it was really, his other films were more coming of age stories, whereas this is a younger, maybe, I think it's a learning independence movie.
I think it's definitely for an older audience, in my opinion, this one. I have to wonder
I don't think so.
I kind of, I'm not saying I wouldn't let a kid watch it, but I kind of have to wonder, what would they make of it? I kind of have to wonder.
Kind of the same things that we are. They have to figure it out for themselves, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of wonder how it would translate. I really just feel like it is for an older audience, this film.
But I mean, when you were 10 years old, weren't you learning at that age kind of how to stand up on your own without your parents being there to...
My upbringing was different from yours. You only had 2 other siblings. I, on the other hand, had 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
Yeah, you were number 6 of 8
Yeah, 6 of 8. So
in the Borg continuum.
there was always an older sibling. There was always somebody minding you if the parents weren't around.
And yeah, see, that's where I was different, because I was a latchkey kid from 7 or 8.
And there was always mom at home. Dad would go to work, mom was always home. So when we came from school, mom was there. So
Sometimes, mostly not.
Well, no, in my life, yes.
No, but sometimes mostly not for me.
Yeah, exactly. So our experiences were very different. You probably did have to learn a bit more about being more independent at a younger age than I did.
Yeah.
Because I still had a parent there, even while Dad was at work when I came home from school. Whereas, like you said, you didn't.
And my brother was around, but he was also a teenager and wanted nothing to do with me.
Yeah, which is typical. I mean, I had 2 sisters, you know, within the succession of that, there was the younger brother and younger sister. Then right above me were my 2 twin sisters who were teenagers. And yeah, I remember the same thing, you know. When I was 10, they're teenagers. They don't want anything to do with you because you're too young, you're too little.
Yeah, and barely tolerant.
You there's that point where they don't want to have anything to do with you just because of the age difference, and they don't want to look uncool to their friends. So yeah, there's that whole experience. But yes, I think our experiences were quite different from each other. But I really do feel like this is kind of, to me, a dreamlike example of having to transition from the relative safety of of being raised by your parents to having to deal with the adult world.
Experiencing the world on your own for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah, that's to me anyways. But I think there could be endless conversations about what this film is about. But again, you were saying it was one of his darker films.
It's pretty dark.
It has some very dark moments in it. There are some unexpected moments of comedy.
Her parents turned into freaking pigs.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, it is pretty. Yeah, that part is pretty scary. Yeah, it is. But I really just I thought this film, like I said, I remember it being visually amazing back then. I think I find it even more visually amazing now. And I feel like I understand it better now than I did 25 years ago. And I feel like I would probably get even more out of it rewatching it, not waiting 25 years to rewatch it.
Yeah.
You know, rewatching it sooner, maybe in a year. But just, you know, an amazing, amazing film. Just even if you just watch it for its visuals, it's just amazing to look at.
It's visually stunning. Yeah.
It's like over 2 hours.
Which is unusual for a kids movie.
I don't
a
call
quote
this
unquote kids movie.
I don't. Yeah, no, this is not a kids movie to me. I think for animated films, yes, because of how expensive it can be to make a well-made animated film, and the time it takes. Most animated films tend to be about 90 minutes, roughly. It almost felt like I was watching it for the first time. It had been so long.
Yeah.
In fact, a great way to describe it would be to say that I kind of remembered it like it was a dream that I had a long time ago. And
I agree with that.
So anyway, I think that's all I want to say about it. Do you have anything you want to say in addition?
It's amazing. It's worth watching. Go see it.
Yeah. I'm sure that most people watching this have already seen it, but if you haven't, it's a must-watch. And if you haven't seen it in a long time, you should watch it again, because I know I'm gonna. I'm not gonna wait this long to watch it again. That's for sure. No. I was just blown away. Anyways, though, so
Spirited Away or Blown Away?
very funny. Actually, that was pretty funny. So that's it for this particular episode. As we said before, we're trying to get through all of the films before we take our trip to Japan, because we are hoping we can visit the Ghibli Museum, of course. And if we do, hopefully we'll get to talk about that visit, share with you photos, footage,
at least
whatever.
of the outside.
Hopefully they let us film there.
They do not let you film inside because Miyazaki wants you to be in the moment and experiencing the experience.
I can understand that.
But that being said, there are outdoor areas and
where
you can film those.
Okay. And yeah, we should try to definitely talk about the experience. Okay. Well, anyways, that's all for now, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you like these videos, be sure to hit like if you're so inclined. Thank you, patron supporters, for all that you do.
You are fierce and mighty.
And in a moment, you'll probably see some, what are they called? I forget what they're called.
Doohickey boppers?
No. No, you'll see some links for some other videos that I've created that you hopefully will enjoy. And we just thank you so much for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.